Hi guys, I'm Saida,
And I'm Rafiq.
and we're a married couple who also happen to be business partners.
Yes,
Welcome to our podcast,
married
Married
to
to
the
the
business,
Business.
where we discuss the ins and outs, the ups and downs, the trials and tribulations of being an entrepreneur.
Yes, this is our very first episode, and we are super excited that you
Yes.
guys are joining us. First, we want to put out this disclaimer, y'all.
Uh oh.
We are not CPAs. We are
No.
not financial advisors.
No.
We are not business advocates. We aren't any of those things, right? We are just two people who decided to go into business together and we do it very well.
Yes.
So, all we can speak to are things that we've gone through, experiences that we've had, and we can pass that along to you all. And hopefully, that gives you guys some guidance.
Yes. Yes. Yes, indeed. So don't take us to be your accountant or
Mm-hmm.
anything of the sort.
Mm-hmm.
We're just two average people trying to
Mm-hmm.
give you guys advice
Mm-hmm.
and basically based on what, like my wife said, what we've been through ourselves.
Right. So, in this episode, we will get into getting started, right?
Yes.
We're going to start from the very beginning and we are going to talk to you guys about getting started in business, what it is that you want to do. So, I believe that getting started initially starts with your mental state. You have to be mentally prepared for what you are about to get into. You also want to be mentally prepared for what you are going to receive, right? So I know for me, when I started, I was not mentally prepared at all, nor was I educated. I did a lot of things wrong and I did some things right. But my mental state was not of a entrepreneur or a business owner. It was just that I saw something that I wanted and I did whatever I could to get it, whatever I could to obtain it. But it's not in obtaining it, it's in keeping it. So you have to be mentally prepared and mentally focused for what you are about to get into.
And I know that for me myself, I can remember going to seminars and listening to motivational speakers and listening to, some of the famous entrepreneurs that basically taught people how to mentally get their self ready for something new. Being an entrepreneur it can be scary in the beginning, especially if you have a job or if you have a career that you've been doing and you're used to getting that, weekly or a bi-weekly paycheck, and I know that in the beginning with us, we were the same way. I drove trucks and, my wife, she worked for SEPTA, which is a bus system here in Philadelphia. And, we were used to having that steady income. And I mean, it was hard, but we believed in each other, I believe.
Yeah.
And, me having that experience with the motivational speaking and the tapes and seminars, it prepared me and it helped me to be able to come home to my family and help my wife see that side of the things too.
Um, like you said, I know for me it was a difficult decision choosing to open our retail store or to stay at my job at SEPTA. Um, it was a very good paying job. The benefits were great. And I did love driving the bus. I loved, meeting new people and having conversations with different people day to day. And initially, when I started, I told my husband, like, look, I don't care what we do. I don't care what this business brings. I'm not leaving SEPTA. Like, I'm just not doing it. It is a job that you retire from. So for me, telling my family, like, listen, we're going to open up this store. And they're like, well, how you going to do that? You work
Yeah.
for SEPTA. And I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, I work for SEPTA, but I'm about to open this store.
Right.
And it was like, well, how you going to do how you going to do both? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm going to figure it out. But I'm going to tell you this, like, it's going to happen
I
one
think it
way
was
or another.
Yeah, I think it was the same way with me. Being a truck driver and making that kind of money, it was hard, But I remember that, and I know for my brothers, they remember me having this conversation with them. But I remember that it was one time, that really showed me that it was time for me to go. And it was when we got to the point where our business was making more money than I would have made if I even went to work. you know, and I had to think about it like, what meant more to me? Did it mean more for me to be able to create a business that would provide for my family if something should ever happen to me on the truck, you know, or did it mean more to me to do what happened to be my passion at that time? And I think that, you know, that's one of the things that you gotta know, like, you know, like, what's your passion? You know, like, what do you think was your passion?
Well, I'm gonna tell you, it still didn't matter to me. My exact mood was, I am not leaving SEPTA. Like, regardless of whatever you say, I'm not leaving SEPTA. So what I would do on my days off, I would sew. Even on the days that I was on, I would get a break midday. I would come home and I would sew. 9 times out of 10, I was probably up 18 to 20 hours a day because I was working for SEPTA and I was working for myself. It got to a point where, like you said, your passion, my passion began to take over. And one day I remembered I was driving, I think I was on the 42 or the 21, 38, I don't know, one of the buses I was driving.
So many, right?
And right, it's so many of them. And I had gone probably 4 stops, maybe. And I hadn't stopped to pick up any passengers. I probably hadn't even stopped to look up and see if I ran a red light, if I ran a stop sign. I was so into my vision and what I was going to make when I got home with this new fabric that I had just got, that I mentally blocked out everything it was that I was doing. And I promise you, I had gone probably about 4 stops without picking anybody up, without letting anybody off of the bus. And I knew then, I said, this is my exit. Like, this is my, like, today is my exit. Like, I can't keep doing this. Like, I put my life in jeopardy. I put other people's lives in jeopardy, right? Because I was so focused on my passion. But that day is when I realized, like, this is what I love to do.
And that's what it's about. You know, like, y'all have to figure out what is your passion. You know, so let's talk about that. Figuring out what your passion can be as easy as this. Everybody has a gift, right? I believe everybody has a gift. And your gift is something that normally comes natural to you. You might not think of it that way. Me, I'm naturally a good talker, right? So for me, marketing, inspirational speaking, things like that, leadership, it comes natural to me. I've always been a talker since I was a kid. And
ooh, baby, you can talk. I'm telling y'all, you can talk.
And I had to figure out a way to take my passion and figure out how I could use that in a monetary way. You know, I had to figure out how to be able to make money off of what was my passion, what came easy to me. You know, with Sai, you know, she's always been into hobbies and things of that sort. And
anything arts and craftsy.
right. And me, I always been, you know, a good communicator. So you guys got to figure out what is your passion and how can you make money off of it. Okay. And the first thing in that is knowledge, you know, knowledge. So, you know, with us, we had to learn, and new entrepreneurs, they run into that problem a lot. You know, what advice would you give?
So there is a quote. The quote is, do what comes easiest to you and you'll never work a day in your life. No, that's not the quote. Do what comes easiest to you and try and find a way to monetize off of it, right?
I like that one better.
But the quote that I'm looking for is a Mark Anthony quote, and it says something like, if you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life, or something like that. And I noticed that with everything that I've done, with all of the classes that I've taken, with all of the switching of degrees and everything that I've done, I'm telling y'all, I have gone to school for just about anything you can think of, right? Even with all of that, every job that I have had was just a job. I did not find comfort in doing any of it. I did not find joy in doing any of it. It wasn't until I started to sew again That is what I love to do. That is what I found joy in. Just seeing the smiles on people's faces when they put on, one of our products, or, hearing them from the dressing room like, "Oh, girl, I look cute." Like, that is what motivates me. Helping my community. That is what. That's where I get my mental fix from.
I think that's what we're here for. It's like you said, like you just said, helping your community. That's what we're here for. We're here to help y'all. I wish that it was somebody that could have been there for us on the other side of the screen, helping us step by step on how do you do this? How do you get started? Where to look, who to take from, what not to take from. Should you be in a partnership or not? These are all things that you got to write down. These are all things that you have to try to get as much knowledge as possible on. And we're here to help you as best as we can. That's what the podcast is about.
Right.
Married to the Business is about us being married and also being in business. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to be married to watch our podcast. It means that if you're in some kind of partnership, we can give you a little bit of advice on that as well as business.
Right.
We make a good partnership because we both have a common goal. We want to win, and we believe in each other. And you have to have patience with that, people.
Right.
Even if you're doing it solo, you have to have patience with entrepreneurship.
Right.
Because it's going to test you. And like we said, the first thing is mental. You have to mentally be prepared for this.
Right.
You have to be prepared for when you're broke, when you go run back to the job, when your service isn't, competitive, what do you do? When your product is not being bought at a pace that you want it to be, what do you do? This is where the knowledge comes in, and it starts with the mental, If you are true to your passion, I believe, as we have learned over the years, and with knowledge, it has shown us tools to be able to adapt to these situations. So
you definitely want to have your mental state. You want to be in the right place mentally. You definitely want to do what comes easiest to you, because it just comes easy, right? You don't have to put any effort into it. You don't have to, go to college for 4 years to learn. To get a degree in it, right? Learn the industry that you are trying to get into, right? And you can do that a number of ways. For me, I didn't spend 4 years in college to learn how to sew, right? My great grandmother taught me how to sew, and then when I picked that passion back up again, when I picked that hobby back up again, I started taking classes around the city, to refresh on my skills. So it's definitely, you want to be in the right mental place, right? You definitely want it to be a passion, something that you love to do, because it will, again, come easy to you. You just find a way to monetize off of it.
Right.
And knowledge. Educate yourself on whatever field it is that you're trying to get into. No, you don't have to have a 4-year degree. You don't have to have a master's degree.
Right.
You don't have to have a PhD. As long as you are educating yourself, at least spending 10 to 15 minutes a day trying to learn whatever industry you're trying to get into. Google is the best teacher right now, right? Google. It will tell you everything that you need to know about that industry, that you are trying to get into. And I know we make it sound easy, but this is exactly what we did, y'all. I'm going to tell you again, when we started, I was all over the place. I had no structure. I had no strategies. I had no plan in place. But I got myself into the right mental state, looking at, motivational videos and lectures every day. I used to think it was all cap. I used to think they was just, they had the gift of gab. They was, just blowing your head up, making you feel good about yourself. But listening to that positivity every single day, it changes you. It definitely changes you.
And we believe in you. We believe in you. Believe in us, and we believe in you. We didn't think that we were going to make it this far, but our customers gave us the strength to do that, and you have to believe in yourself. You have to say you are worth it. You have to say that your kids are worth it. Whatever it is, whatever is your biggest motivation, use that. Write it on a paper. Put it as your screensaver on your phone. Write it on mirrors in the morning so you can see it. We believe in that stuff.
Yeah.
You have to believe that you are worth taking that chance. A job will always be there. You know, a job will always be there. So, and you don't have to quit your job. We're telling you that if that's your dilemma, take the chance.
Right. But also, you could use your job to fund your passion.
True.
Because that's what I did initially. I used my job to fund my passion. Every week I got paid, I went and bought fabric. And I turned that, you know, and as y'all say, I flipped it, right? So you can definitely use your day job to fund your passion, right? And
I mean, you know, that's what I do. You know, I have no problem if I choose to use my CDL as a capital builder. You know, if I see that it's another project or something that we want to work on, I'll go get back in the truck. I'll go get back in the truck for a couple of months, make the money that I need to make to put back into our companies, and then I'll keep things rolling. So there's nothing wrong with working for people, but your ultimate goal is entrepreneurship, is to work for yourself.
But like, I think I read something that said, I read or heard something that said, don't leave your day job until your passion is making you 3 times what you would make on your job in a month. So once your passion begins to contribute in a way that it's earning 3 times what you would at your day job, that is the time to pick up and leave.
Listen, folks, we hope that y'all enjoyed this episode. I want to leave you a couple of quick little facts. 20% of all new businesses fell within the first 2 years. 45% fell within the first 5 years. Part of that is because a lot of people, they don't have enough education in terms of knowledge of what they're doing in the beginning. So take your time. Don't be afraid to get started. Don't be afraid to believe in yourself and learn as much as you can. But besides that, get started. Okay?
Also, guys, African American women are the fastest growing group of entrepreneurs, okay? So we are doing big things. There is also a wealth shift happening, if you guys have not noticed it. Within our community, more and more people are aspiring to be entrepreneurs. So we want to contribute to that, and we want to help you guys in any way that we can.
So with that being said, get ready for the next episode next week.
Yes.
Thanks for tuning in. Make sure that y'all subscribe, like, comment, tell a friend. We appreciate it.
To tell a friend. To tell a friend.
So from Married to the Business, peace.